back at Reggie's with Brandon Johnston. Brandon is a United States Marine veteran, former firefighter, biker, and stand-up comedian based out of Charleston, South Carolina. He performs independently under his personal banner, OFP Comedy. Brandon's comedy leverages dark humor regarding growing up in rural Appalachia, serving in the military, and spending decades in biker culture. You can check him out on the Combat Zone 360 tour, which he operates with a charitable mission, raising critical funding for veteran suicide prevention. So let's sit with Brandon, drink a few beers, have some laughs, and see how we can help our veterans. Here's your host, Cassie Burns.
Welcome to Comedians in Bars Getting Sloppy. Thank you so much, Brandon, for coming on with me today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
How many tours did you do?
I did 2 tours in Iraq. Yep.
Not going to ask you how that went because we all pretty much...
It was hot.
Lots of sand.
Lots of sand, yeah.
No, I totally get that.
I talked to my mom on the phone one time, and she was like, yeah, you know, your grandmother said there's no humidity over there. And I'm like, yeah, you're right, there's no humidity. So go stick your head in the oven at 200 degrees and throw sand in your face with a hairdryer and see how much no humidity freaking helps.
You missed the humidity at some point.
We had a thermometer outside of our tent that went up to 140 degrees. I can't tell you how many days it was pegged out. I mean, yeah. It was
hell.
Bad, yeah.
No.
It was screaming. Yeah.
Do you prefer like a dry heat like that versus our just absolute Satan's asshole of humidity?
I am much older now, and I am wiser, and I prefer my air-conditioned home.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so...
What do you keep your AC to?
Huh?
What do you keep it at, temperature-wise?
Here in Charleston, I keep it at 72.
Yep.
AC stays at 72. During the winter, it stays at 74, no more than 76.
There was somebody that came out, or was one of the companies, it may have been Dominion, because we have Dominion Electric instead of SE&G, and they said, 76 in the summer. So I'm like, you out of your fucking mind.
Right.
We're not doing that. No. You come down here and hang out, and then you tell me what temperature you're going to have.
Well, see,
it's going to be fucking 72.
But here's the problem, though. So I'll set the air conditioner where it should be comfortable. My wife... All right, so and it's not her fault, and I don't blame her, okay? But she keeps a space heater by the bed, and she runs it 24/7. Okay? Oh,
my God.
Yeah, wintertime, summertime, doesn't matter. And again, I don't blame her. All right, she was born from the bowels of hell. So...
Georgia?
No, I said what I said. I've met her mother. She is Satan. So... I'm waiting for her to return to the anyway.
To the depths.
To the depths.
Oh shit.
No, I don't wish that on anybody. She is a very unique woman, and we love her very much. But no, my wife does. She is killed. I can't tell you how many space heaters she has killed. I went over to sweep underneath her space heater one day. And I picked it up, and it literally disintegrated. It just fell apart. The plastic just gone. Yeah.
No. I used to do that with it. Well, you get a little, you're tiny and you like that heat. And I've got a lot of girls that work around me that are itty bitties and they're like wearing jackets right now. And we're like at 95 degrees with go fuck yourself, how much it hurts outside.
Right. And that's the thing. Yeah.
I'm like, you bitches, take that jacket off because that's killing me right now.
She will go outside between 11 and 3. And anybody that lives in the Charleston area, lives in the South in general, understands that between 11 and 3, that's some of the hottest parts of the day. Mm-hmm. That's when she wants to go work in the yard. All right, and then she'll come back inside. She'll be cold for about 2 seconds and turn the space heater on. Space heater set to 85. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Oh, my God.
I mean, I'm not lying. I've told people before, I go outside in the Charleston summer to cool off. And it's the truth. It is the absolute truth.
How long have you been in Charleston?
Oh, good Lord. We moved down here... after my last deployment, so that was 2008-ish.
Mm-hmm. You were at the height of the housing market when we were starting to crash, too, when you did that.
Yeah, no, it was great. I got a great deal on my house.
Sorry, but thanks.
Well, I bought my house for $154,000, and I didn't think I would ever be a homeowner coming from small town, country boy. Yeah, I never thought I would be able to afford a home, but we got that at a steal. Oh, yeah. And like 2 years later, it had almost doubled in value, and I was like, I finally got one right.
Equity.
Right?
Fuck yeah.
Oh, yeah, all my friends were like, get a home equity loan. I'm like, no. I owe them enough money. Why do I want to owe them more? No, thank you.
So you moved down. You had 9/11 happen. You were 16 years old. Is that what made you decide to go to the Marine Corps?
That was a big part of it. Yeah. So I knew. So I grew up poor. All right. I tell people I grew up 2 diamond outhouse poor. I'm not kidding. We had a 2 diamond outhouse, and yes, we used it on occasion. We had indoor plumbing, but
hey, listen, it's there.
Hey, but no, we now I forgot the question. What were we saying?
So when you started, you wanted to decide to join the Marine Corps. You were about 16 when 9/11 happened.
Yeah. So like I said, I grew up poor, and I knew I couldn't afford to go to college without a whole bunch of scholarships and financial aid. I'm making a bunch of bills that I didn't want to make. So I knew I was going to go in the military to at least for the education benefits. 9/11 happens. So I had looked around at all the branches. I looked at the Marine Corps, the Army, the Navy. I tried talking to the Air Force, but that guy was always at lunch. You know, he was like 5'7", 300 pounds. I wish I was joking, but yeah. And this was 2003. It was 2001.
2001.
Yeah. So 9/11 happens, and I went to the payphone in our high school. I called a Marine Corps recruiter. So I don't care what you got to do, where I got to go, what job. Get me in, get me overseas as quick as you can.
What year was your first tour?
I graduated in 03. He convinced me to graduate instead of taking the GED or trying to graduate early. I had enough credits to graduate early, but he was like, no. So I graduated in 03. I went in almost immediately after I graduated, went to boot camp. And then within about 8 months, I got orders for my first deployment. So yeah, boot camp, MOS school, combat training, did all that, checked into my unit, and then a couple months later, hey, you're going to Iraq. I'm like, okay.
So I know you did chorus and theater and all that in high school, so going into boot camp for Marines was not a theater trip. So how'd that go with you?
Are you kidding me? No, it was a cakewalk.
Oh, yeah.
It was easy.
I've heard.
Yeah, the Marine Corps has the easiest boot camp of any branch. Don't ever let anybody tell you any different. If you're thinking about joining the military, trust me, the Marines is the absolute easiest. Go for it.
You've heard it here first. Take it from the man. So you did your tours, and then you decided to move to Charleston with your wife, and
yeah. So when I got back, from my last tour, 2008, 2007, and 2008, I was in Iraq. I come back, and we were discussing where we want to kind of settle down. What do we want to do? Am I going to stay in the Marine Corps? What are we going to do? And I had already left her at home with a small child for one deployment, and I was like, baby, I'm going to try not to do that again. So it came time for me to get out or to re-enlist, and I decided to go ahead and get out because I knew I was going to get deployed again. And as much as I wanted to, and I really did want to deploy again. I know it sounds weird. A lot of veterans.
No, it doesn't sound weird. Yes, absolutely. I've heard that.
Yeah, it was a very tough decision, but I opted to. My wife had just gotten pregnant again, and I was like, okay, no, I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna go and get out, and I'll stay here.
So once you got out, from what I understand, you went to an open mic. You were talking to doing that.
So much later did I go to an open mic.
What made you? So you had friends that decided that would be a good thing for you to do.
Yeah. So I was very.
Did you piss them off in somehow?
I think so. I was at the American Legion. I was.
Like it's faster.
It took me
open mic.
It took me several years after coming home and working and doing stuff. I didn't socialize. I didn't really go out. You know, I was either at work or at home. I went to school at one point, and my wife was like, "You have got to get out of this house."
It's either my sanity or you getting out.
I kid you not. She went down to the American Legion and signed me up, because she knows all my information, because she handles all the finances. She signed me up and goes, "Here, you're a member. Go to the American Legion." Okay. I like shooting pool. They had a pool league, so I started showing up on pool nights, made some friends, joined a team, cracking jokes, and they're like, "Dude, you should really try. You should try comedy." And found an open mic at the time. The Sparrow was the only place around here really doing comedy. Went out to the Sparrow, tried an open mic, told a joke about my first time fighting fire, because I'd been a firefighter before I joined the Marine Corps, and completely bombed. Horrible. It didn't get to the punchline, didn't get to anything funny. And I was like, oh my God. So I go home, I grab my notebook, I start working it out. I'm like, wait, okay, so we can cut this. Went back one more time. They laughed the whole 5 minutes. I said, you know what? I can do that. I got off the stage, and one of the regulars looks at me and she goes, dude, you were funny. Please keep coming back.
So you feel like you didn't prep enough for the first one, and then you went back?
I feel like I didn't know what I was walking into.
Right.
Because, like I said, I've been telling stories and shooting the shit with my friends and Marines and other stuff my whole life. But it's different when you get on stage. Because, yes, it's a conversation, but it's mainly a one-sided conversation. So that took some getting used to. I had to understand that, look, there are parts of this story that not everybody needs to know. There are parts in this story that don't make the story go any further. So once you it's called cutting the fat. Once you cut the fat and you just get to the main points, people identify, people recognize, people can understand and stay with you, and you can do at least one whole story. But
do you feel like you're better with doing stories as a comedian or doing just like a short joke?
I try to blur the line between stories and short jokes, because I've had so many experiences, even from when I was younger, just in a short amount of time. I've had so many experiences that were funny and situational and that people can understand and relate to, that I feel like, it's really the same. It's really the same thing,
You feel like you're a good storyteller?
I don't know about all that, but I try to be.
Well, it seems like you're doing pretty damn well.
I've told my wife enough stories that I hadn't gotten in trouble more than I have, so.
So you're also doing a comedy tour right now?
Yes. Yes, I am on the United We Stand Up Veterans Comedy Tour, presented by Combat Zone 360. And we're raising money for that nonprofit, the Combat Zone 360 nonprofit, which they try to give veterans like that VIP experience.
Right.
And again, it helps with mental health to let these guys know that, look, somebody still cares. They're looking out for you, And I think it's a really cool initiative. And so,
do you feel like that's lacking here in just America in general, as far as mental health for our veterans?
I feel like we've come a long way. I feel like definitely when I came back and I was getting out, 2008, 2009, we were trying, but I don't think we were really doing a great job.
Right.
I know that the VA was not doing a great job. They were trying, but they were struggling. I will say over the last 10, 20 years, they have definitely gotten a lot better, whether it be the VA or some of these other organizations and VSOs. I know a lot of people had problems with the VFWs and the Legions. My generation, the GWAT vets, the Global War on Terrorism vets, had a lot of issues going into VFWs and American Legions because people would look down on us because we were so young. And it's like, dude, you don't understand the war we just came through.
Correct.
All right, our experiences are not your experiences, and we're not saying ours were easier or harder, but to not get that respect was a big problem. Now, luckily, the VFW, the American Legion, both organizations realized, hey, okay, we got a problem here. We got to talk to our members, and they did, and they've done a 180, and they're definitely trying to do a 180, and have been a lot more accepting of GWAT vets. But it was an issue, and the fact that war strung out for so long, we're 20 plus years. It's a lot of vets.
Yeah.
It's a lot of vets. So.
Again, thank you for your service. I have the utmost respect for all of our service members. You're also a firefighter, though.
Yeah.
How'd that
go? It was hot, baby.
Well, I've heard that, actually. Quite a few people have told me that.
Yeah.
So it's a, widespread opinion. With your tour that you're doing, did you set that up yourself?
No, so this is not my tour. I didn't put this together. The guy's name, his name is Jay Lawrence. He's a New York City-based comedian, Army veteran, Purple Heart, awardee, Purple Heart recipient rather. He is a really cool guy. As far as I can tell, I hadn't seen anything different yet, but. But no, Jay is cool, and like I say, he reached out to me about, hey, this is what I'm trying to do. This is what I want to make happen. I'm like, that sounds like something I can get behind. Cool, let's go do it. So,
do you ever kind of counsel different vets with comedy, or bring them into the comedy world, seeing like that could be something that would help them?
So, when it comes to giving advice, vets are obviously first on my list, but I've taken the approach of I don't give unsolicited advice.
Okay.
There was definitely a time where, somebody get off stage, I pull them to the side. Hey, man, I think this would be funny, or that, or hey, if you did this. I quit doing that because there was a lot of, not necessarily backlash, but if it's not asked for, you probably shouldn't get it. So, but yeah, I let guys know, and guys and gals and everybody, hey, if you want advice, ask me. If you think my opinion is worth something, fine, ask me. And there have been several around here, several veterans and veteran comedians, and there are more and more every day. Mm-hmm. I think this generation of veterans and the GWOT veterans are really reaching out into the creative communities, whether it be comedy or acting or filmmaking or anything. And there's so many organizations that have started now to be able to help veterans get into these spaces. I think that's amazing. But yeah, if they come to me, hey, will you help me with this joke? What do you think? What did you think about this set? What do you think about that? Absolutely, I'll give them my advice, and I'll let everybody know. That's just my opinion. Mm-hmm. And comedy is extremely subjective, so what I think is going to be funny, you may not think is going to be funny. At the end of the day, it's your set, it's your story, it's your jokes. You do it the way you want to do it. Somebody will respond. Somebody will like it, or they won't.
Do you have any comedians, that you grew up watching that kind of influenced you, or you were just like, oh... I want to do that, or how did I do that?
So between foster care and then getting placed with my extremely Southern Baptist grandfather, there was not a lot of comedy.
No?
Not a lot of mainstream comedy in my early life. No.
Not at all. I saw you went to Charleston Southern as well. It used to be the Baptist college.
It used to be, yes. I went there because it was close to my house.
Yes. I could clock in a semester there.
Hey, we had 2 small kids and another one on the way, and I needed something that was close to the house. I don't care where it is, as long as it's accredited. It was great.
Do you take a lot of experiences from your life with your kids and your wife when you're looking at your comedy?
Everything. I can honestly say everything about my comedy draws on my experiences from being a father, from being a husband, being a biker, a Marine, a firefighter, doing all these different things that I've done in my life, and just bringing it to the stage. And all I'm doing, I'm just pointing out the absurdity of a lot of these situations that everybody goes through, but from my own point of view, through my own lens. And some people agree with me and like it. Some people don't, and that's on them. That's cool.
Well, that's comedy.
That's comedy. That's anything. You put 5 people in a room together. All right, you're going to get 17 different opinions about one topic. So,
did you ever follow like Saturday Night Live, Second City?
Again, so growing up, I had to sneak around to watch Saturday Night Live.
Oh, like, with the religious upbringing, yeah.
Oh, yeah, like I had a blanket over the TV and like made a little tent. Yeah, but I would stay up and watch what I consider to be classic Saturday Night Live. They were still playing some of the Eddie Murphy skits.
Mm-hmm. Gumby. Yeah. Come on.
Will Ferrell and Jimmy Fallon were coming up in there, and watching those things, and I thought it was hilarious. And then my buddy introduced me to like the Blue Collar Comedy Tour, Jeff Foxworthy and those guys, and I thought that was hilarious. I saw Eddie Murphy Raw, and I was like, oh, you can do that.
He could do that.
Yeah, but I kind of had to sneak around to see all these things. Look, this was my experience growing up. We at 7, 8 years old, we could watch Unsolved Mysteries, where little children go missing all the time and they're never found. That was fine. That's not traumatic. But we couldn't watch Cheers because they served alcohol.
I still have nightmares over that's Unsolved Mysteries.
That's the Baptist logic that I grew up with right there.
No, I mean, oh, God. I didn't grow up with a very religious family at all. They were more spiritual. I mean, they did go to church a little bit, but I was never...
Whenever I hear spiritual, it translates into, we like to sin, but we want to say we're good people.
And they tithed. So, yeah. But it was they had like a little small church, Methodist church, and I went a few times here and there, but it was never really indoctrinated into me to do church and be a part of that. I did like the choir too. You got chorus. I did chorus and theater and.
Oh, love to sing. Yeah, that was my favorite part of church was singing, and I would lead the singings. I had solos. I was always singing in church. I sang in my high school choir. I went to all-state choir a couple times. At the time I was good enough to get into there, and that was fun. And that's really where I wanted to go and pursue voice and pursue music. And again, that kind of went to the side with 9/11 and joining the Marine Corps and then having a family. Life kind of went where it went. I never actually thought I would be a comedian. I never actually thought, oh my God, I want to be a comedian. And yet here I am.
Well, it takes you that's just life.
And that's me. I'm a go with the flow kind of guy.
No, I love it. When you do theater, and are you looking at possibly doing like an acting thing later?
Well,
was that something that you were thinking when you were growing up?
Yes. So when I was growing up, yes, I did want to be an actor, and I am an actor. Mm-hmm. I've been in several commercials. I was background in the Righteous Gemstones, which filmed here with with Rough House Productions. That was great. With Danny McBride, it was absolutely amazing.
John Goodman, Walter Goggins.
Oh yeah, Walton's mom. Oh man.
Oh, I would have. So I did. I've talked about it on the podcast before. I did an episode. I was an extra in one of the episodes for Righteous Gemstones, and I was like, "Is John Goodman?" I mean, I love me some Danny McBride. Yeah. Please come on the podcast. But I love Walton Goggins and John Goodman. Yes. Like, I grew up with John Goodman with,
Roseanne.
Roseanne.
Yes.
And then Revenge of the Nerds.
Yes.
He's the damn coach on it. And you go even for like the Big Lebowski.
He was in so
all the Coen Brothers movies. I just absolutely love him.
The funniest thing for me, or not the funniest, but the weirdest thing. So we did a scene with John Goodman. I was part of the militia in season 3, I think it was. Yeah. And he was shorter than I thought he was. I'm like, John.
He looks like a towering guy,
yeah, he does. But I'm taller than John Goodman.
Wow.
Yeah. So it surprised me too. Believe me, I thought he was like 6'8" or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
did you ever get to talk to any of them? I know when I was on there, they're like, don't approach the cast.
So obviously, I mean, we were being very respectful and we were being professional. But I was part of a smaller group of they called them featured background. Mm-hmm. So we did a couple of smaller scenes with like Steve, and
Steve Zahn.
Steve Zahn, with Steve Zahn. And so we did get to interact and talk with the cast there because there was only I think there were only 10 of us. And then, they had the primary actors and a couple of other day players. So we did get to all interact. And, we were all at craft services together. They didn't have anything separated out. When we got into the bigger scenes with the bigger militia group, we tried to do it the same where they kept Crafty and just one craft. No, that we ended up having separate Crafty because there were some people that wanted to just run up and talk and, hey, can I get an autograph? And this is like, dude, we're
selfies. No,
we're trying to be professional here, yeah. But I get it. I understand both sides of that. I really do.
It's exciting when you have something like that. So we had such a great film scene here. We had North and South in the 80s that happened. We had The Patriot. My husband and I actually saw one of the scenes being filmed at College of Charleston for The Patriot.
So they did a lot of that filming for The Patriot in the Upstate. That was one of my first forays into acting. I went and tried out. I did not get a role, but I was in junior high. Mm-hmm. And I actually got signed by an agency later that summer in Charlotte. Yeah. But obviously, like I said, that kind of went to the wayside. But still, that was cool. And I never thought I would get back to that. And I get to Charleston, and I find this huge, creative Charleston community. Mm-hmm. And it's not. And comedy was the way back in there. I go out to this open mic, and next thing I know, I'm getting doors open into the local creative community, and then that leads back to the extra, the background work that I did, and that it kind of reignited that flame of I love writing, I love acting, I like directing, and so I kind of moved back into that. So now I've shot a couple of local pilots. I can't really say anything about those, hoping they get picked up. I got another one.
I'm not going to get your autograph though before we go, so just in case I can sell it later.
Well, it looks like chicken scratch. So.
Mine does too.
I have the handwriting of a doctor and the mentality of a 14-year-old.
It looks like a serial killer.
I'm a full-grown dude. Did you just call me a serial killer?
No, I said my signature looks like a serial killer. It's like, is that even thing? Nope.
All wives that I know are potential serial killers.
We watch enough true crime. We can hide a body.
This is all that freaks me out. No, my wife is a nurse. All right, she's done all the medical stuff, and she's a psych nurse on top of that. So not only can she kill you with the right drugs and get away with it, which she has pointed out several times when we're watching CSI. That's the wrong drug. That's not the one you use. If you use this, they'll never find it. I'm like,
I love you, and I'm going to buy you some roses tomorrow.
Right.
Actually, now. I'm going to find them.
Let me show you what this tongue do, baby.
Now there's a way to the woman's heart.
And she'll tell you, too, if you can make her go, woo, sober. I say, you can get away with anything for the next 3 hours. Hours only. Yeah, you gotta re-up your deposit there, but...
Do you ever direct anything?
Yes, I've directed several things. I have a feature right now that I have written. It's registered with the WGA, and I have I've got a good friend of mine that is a local producer, and she has done some national things as well. She used to be in LA and do stuff, and we're kind of looking around at some different options, and I'm hoping to be able to shoot that next year. Matter of fact, on this tour, I've got a fellow Marine that I'm happen to meet online. He is also a filmographer, or a videographer, excuse me, and a director and writer. He's out of West Virginia. He is filming this whole tour for us to put together a documentary, and I can't say the network or the options that we're talking to, but there's some networks that are interested in the behind the scenes and the finale of this tour, which is going to be at the Emma Kelly Theater in Statesboro, Georgia, on August 15th. So August 14th. Excuse me.
Well, shit, that's exciting. Yeah. Are your kids following you as far as that goes? Into acting or singing? And oh, Lord, that does take a drink. Damn.
Okay. I've gone back and forth with my kids on this because, one, my kids and my wife are extremely supportive of anything I've done over the years. Really. And they have been very supportive of the comedy and the acting. My kids constantly remind me that about 10 years ago, when they were preteens and early teenagers, they all wanted to start YouTube channels, and they all wanted to be on Instagram and Facebook and everything else. And I told them, no, you're not going to do it.
The influencer age.
Right. And now they tell me, Dad, you have a Facebook, you now have an Instagram, you now have a YouTube, and they're doing okay. They're doing pretty well. We got a couple of followers. And they're like, Dad, didn't you tell us you can't make no money off the internet? I said, well, they tell me, Dad, didn't you tell us that all influencers and podcasters are just, weirdos that live in their parents' basement and can't get a real job? And
we don't have basements in South Carolina.
My son actually said this to me. I was on the phone with my oldest son, or my wife was on the phone with my oldest son before I came over here. I told him, son, I got to go do a podcast. And he goes, Dad, and he tells me, what did you say? He's like, didn't you tell me? I said, well, son, technically I live in your mother's basement, and if I didn't, you wouldn't be here.
Nice. How did he feel about that one, by the way?
He goes, I wish that speakerphone speakers weren't as good as they are nowadays.
Oh, crazy. Was he around like friends that are like,
yeah,
hey, why not?
Oh, man, he's 19. But that's what, I love that relationship with my kids, because I wanted to make sure that my kids had a childhood I didn't have. Right. I wanted to make sure my kids had a childhood and had a relationship with their parents that I didn't have. And we've reached that point. So regardless of what happens with comedy or anything else, screw it. I don't care. My kids love me. I love my kids, and they love each other. And we're all best friends, basically.
That's absolutely fucking beautiful. I love that.
With them understanding that
you're still the parent.
I'm still the parent.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a difference. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, the parents that are just friends with their kids. No. We can be friendly. Mm-hmm. We are friends.
You come to me with anything you need.
Yes.
You can discuss anything with me, open, but I am your parent before I am your friend.
Exactly.
And I do see that quite a bit in different people. They're like, oh, we're best friends. I'm like, are you really?
Yeah.
Are we? No, we're not.
No.
Don't be that way.
No.
Do you still carry around a notebook? Or do you do it on your phone, like different jokes, ideas, or?
So I told you about my chicken scratch handwriting, didn't I?
Oh,
which is a mark of genius, by the way. But no, I do have a small notepad, a Write in the Rain notepad that I will occasionally use to write out some topics when I'm going on stage, if I'm doing a new set or if I'm doing something where I might need a reminder. And the thing is, I have a lot of head injuries. I do. TBI and other stuff. Like I said, I've had several head injuries over the years. I keep telling my wife no teeth, but still end up with head injuries.
Well.
So occasionally, yes, I do still take a notebook.
And shame you. That's all good.
That's how are blowjobs a kink? I thought that was just a standard part of a happy marriage.
Well, normally, yeah, but if they involve the teeth, and then you're going into kink.
Well, that's true.
Listen, again, I'm good with it.
Yeah, but yeah.
So they're not into acting or anything like that. They love that internet. How do you feel about doing that? We're kind of close in age. I'm a little bit older, but I find it so incredibly difficult to keep up with all of these different social media platforms. I'm like, fuck, a TikTok? Yeah. How do you do a TikTok? Instagram? I miss MySpace, for Christ's sake. Because it was like you had your top 5 friends and you liked them that day, and then you could change it, and then you could set music to it. I struggle with that.
Yeah.
Like with all the different mediums that we have to do as creators. Keep it on Instagram, keep it on Facebook, keep it on TikTok, go on. I mean,
so
everything. YouTube.
Here's where I'm at. I don't do TikTok, and it really the only reason I've got for not doing TikTok is because if I'm gonna get screwed over by a social media company, I believe it should be an American social media company screwing me up. It's kind of like if you're gonna have a traumatic experience, at least let it be family that creates the traumatic experience.
You know where to find them.
Right. Right. But no, I just don't. Maybe part of it's just me being lazy, but no, I do Facebook, I do Instagram, I do YouTube. I'm okay with that. I'm not saying that I may not do something down the line, but yeah, I'm still working a full-time job. Mm-hmm. I'm still taking care of my kids, supporting my wife, and I still have all these other things I've got going on. And to be honest with you, the fact that I got any kind of traction in social media at all surprised the hell out of me, because it's all been part-time, spare time, whatever. I was never looking at that as a career. I simply did that because basically my mentor had told me at one point, hey, you kind of got to do social media if you want to be a comedian nowadays. And it just so happened to get some traction. Some people liked it. And it took off a little bit. It's not huge. Not huge, but...
You and I discussed when I first contacted you to do the podcast, or asked you to please do the podcast. You were recommended by Jason Rose. Thank you, Jason. And love the fact that you are amazing on fucking social media. I can't do that. But you had also said, well, didn't you start this podcast a few years ago? And I went, yeah.
Oh, you mean when I reached out to you and you gave me the cold shoulder?
I shot it all to hell.
Yeah, you
so did. It was, we didn't do it correctly, and I had like a mental health kind of breakdown. Because it wasn't like I had like an OCD moment of, it's not going the way I wanted to. Okay, I'm gone.
No, you know what? That reminds me. That's right. You shunned me. You shut me down. You know what?
No.
Is he serious?
Oh shit, he actually walked out.
Let me check the camera. I think I bumped it. And, yep. He it's off.
Where do we go from here?
I think that's a wrap.
Well, that's a first.
Go ahead and wrap it up then.
This is what can happen with a live show, and everybody keep up with comedians and bars getting sloppy on Spotify and YouTube. He's coming back, don't worry about it.
I need another drink.
He will get you. Don't you worry. No, but you get that with like the mental health thing. You just kind of have that moment of,
I'm gonna tell you right now.
I gotta shut down.
Look, I have highs and lows, and you can look at my posting on social media, and it's not that it's directly correlated, but even though I'm doing social media and I've had some small success, the fact of the matter is I value my family, I value my friends, my in-person time with the people that I care about in my life more than I do about being internet famous or getting this many views, that many likes. Does it help? Absolutely. It helps. If you watch the videos, you like the videos, you share the videos, yes, it helps. It helps me to be able to get better equipment and to create better videos. But at the end of the day, my family comes first.
Yeah. Real
life comes first over the internet. And the fact that we have people that don't understand that, or that put so much into doing this online, I'm never going to meet you kind of stuff, it boggles my mind, You're
like the keyboard warriors. You ever had anybody who was like, well, you're not funny?
All the time.
And you're like, who the fuck are you?
I had a guy when I very, very first started social media. And I don't think it's up there anymore. I think I may have deleted that video because it was so bad anyway. At the time, look, I'm not saying it wasn't funny.
Yeah.
But I actually had a guy came on there with a fake account. I posted a clip from a show, and he came on with a fake account. Oh, you're not funny, you're this. Just total trash talking. And I did a little research. And it didn't take me long to figure out who it was, even though it was a fake account. And it happened to be somebody that I knew and that was supposed to be a friend.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so yeah.
Well, that's not awkward in any fucking way.
Oh, no, they were blocked really quickly. Yeah, but I'm like, really, man? I'm like, really? I mean, we had kind of a falling out, but it wasn't a knockdown, drag out. It was another veteran, too. You know, somebody that had retired, and I'm like, really, man? Like, this is all you've got to do in life is create fake accounts and just go on. He wasn't even at the show, and I'm like, if you'd at least been at the show, I would at least left it up and been like, you know what, that's your opinion, that's fair, whatever. You know, because I can tell you, yes, I have done some things on stage that were not funny. I think every comedian has. Every comedian has bombed. But yeah, that one hit me a little different. That he would go on and do a fake account, made a fake account of my profile. And had put it,
Jesus.
I got the picture removed, but he had put up a picture of me and my wife, and we had been on a 9/11 memorial ride. Yeah. And I'm like, why would you, as a veteran, take something like that, create this whole fake page, just because you're pissed at me or my wife? I'm like, that's horrible. But
do you think it's more?
I think
out of jealousy, also.
It's
you are moving onto certain things.
Well, at the time, I wasn't. So I got to put this in the context of the time period, which I was just starting out and doing stuff.
Right.
And no, what I really believe it is the fact that, unfortunately, what we also see in the veteran community is a lot of the most detrimental people to veterans' health and veterans' mental health and veterans seeking help is actually other veterans. I mean, and it kind of sucks. You got some guys out there that have this mentality that if you go seek mental health treatment, that you're just weak or you're a pussy or whatever, and that's not true. That's simply not true. You got some guys out there that I did this job, and if you didn't do this job, then you don't count, and that's not true either.
Right.
I don't care if you were frontline or support or whatever. Everybody has a job to do that makes the whole machine work, and you should do that job to the best of your ability. Some of us happen to get called on to do a little extra.
Right.
Some of us happen to be put in situations that others weren't. And it is what it is. But yeah, I think as veterans as a whole, I think that's a bad stance to take, of just tearing somebody down.
You have more support, though, you think, or then you have like the negative.
I think I have more support than I do the negativism.
We're always gonna. I mean, even if you're just sitting around doing.
But we're gonna focus on the negative. That's what we do as humans, right?
You do, and it's really. I try to teach my daughter that it's like, don't focus on this part. Focus on this good part. Just like, this is where we are. Yeah. But I am gonna ask you: is the Sparrow the worst bomb you ever had, or?
It was definitely the first time. You know what? Actually, that probably was the worst bomb. My very first time was probably the worst because, again, I got no laughs for 5 minutes straight.
Oh, hell, that's a long ass 5 minutes. Oh my god,
it was bad. In my opinion, I have bombed plenty of other places, but when I go back, when I look at the tapes, when I talk to the people, maybe it was like a half bomb. I say that because I still got laughs, and they were still in there. I just did some things that maybe I hadn't quite worked out yet.
Mm-hmm. Do you find it harder to do comedy in front of people that you know, or strangers, or you don't really care either way?
I'm more of the don't really care. Mm-hmm. And it really kind of depends on who it is that I know that's in the audience.
Like your wife. Like, are you like...
No, absolutely not. As a matter of fact, I go harder into my wife material.
So you're saying no performance issues. We're just going to make that stance right now. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
There we go.
Yeah, she'll tell you too. She actually, I suggested maybe I should try some performance enhancing, and she went, "No, if you do, you'll break me." And I'm like, okay.
Well, reigning endorsement. I love that. So when you're looking at different areas that you're going to do comedy, do you research these clubs? Did you go out of state?
I do go out of state. I've been all over the country. Mm-hmm. I kind of tamped that down the last little bit because we had some things personal wise I needed to make sure I was more in the area for. But I've gone all over the country, and I didn't do a lot of research. I mainly stuck with my material, which is pretty much all about me and my life. A few generic observations, but it's mainly about me, what I've been through. So, and researching the areas, not so much, except for I've got one joke that it's kind of a tag to a story, and I have to kind of research who the local football team is, or whatever the local rivalry is, just to make that joke work. You know, because not everybody cares about Clemson or Carolina, so
they should, but it's fine.
Right, I understand.
What is your favorite place you've been to on the comedy tour? And I've got another question after that.
Wait, on this comedy tour or in general?
Just in general.
Okay,
comedy tour.
So in 2023, I was on Bet TV as part of America's Funniest Veteran Competition, and we ended up at the Bob Hope Theater in LA.
Yeah.
So for people that don't know, the Bob Hope Theater is where they shot the scene in Patton, the very famous scene where the flag is behind him. He's on the stage with the riding crop and giving the whole speech about, your job is not to die for your country. Your job is to make the other son of a bitch die for his, which I agree with. But it was the same stage. It was a very historical theater, and it was really cool. And I had a great time. I learned a lot from that, and I feel I've gotten better. So
you're from South Carolina, and then you go to LA. Is that a little bit of not a culture shock, but because I've been to California as well, and I grew up in South Carolina, so but it is quite different. So
had I not already lived in California prior to that, it would have been more of a culture shock. So yes, I'm from South Carolina. I grew up in South Carolina, but I did live in Sacramento for about a year.
Okay.
Yeah, we were held prisoner of war there. But yeah,
kind of feel like I was too.
I'm sorry. I love sneaking in those little jabs to see who's listening.
Well, I actually had to travel. I worked at a corporate job. Left there in 2011, and I got to travel to Sacramento to train the office out there on what I did. And the unfortunate name of this company, which is no longer around, was ISIS. It was ICE Systems.
Right.
But then all the shirts said ISIS. And then, of course, here we go with the which they were actually at the end.
You just told us you
horrifying.
were a spy. That's what you just said. You were a spy. Got it.
Yeah, I got to go to sunny Sacramento. Woo!
But so funny so that's where me and my wife lived there for about a year. We were dating. That's where I proposed. I proposed at the Yellow Bridge in Old Sac.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I had all this stuff planned out. We were going to do a horse carriage ride down by the river. I was going to propose. We were going to go out for hibachi, and we get there, and the horse carriage is closed.
Oh shit!
They've already done their last tour. Crap. Okay, cool. So we walk by the river. I proposed. She almost drops the ring in the river. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, well, all right, that's out of the way. She said, yes, cool. Let's go to hibachi. We go to Benihana's.
I've never been to Benihana's here. I'd love to go.
Oh, Benihana's is awesome. And they were also being renovated.
Oh, well, shit.
So we ended up at a pool hall in a strip mall next to a sex store.
I really wish you had said strip club, but you already got sex store in there. So
there's a sex store right next door. Yeah, that's where we ended up shooting pool and eating wings, and that was our engagement celebration.
And here we are, 20 years now?
20 years this year, 20th anniversary, and I finally took her on a cruise. She's been wanting to go on a cruise for 20 years, and I have been pretty dead set against it. We did several of those, what do you call them, the timeshare things?
Right.
Yeah, where you get the free gifts and stuff. I've had probably a dozen free cruises over the years, and every time, I promise you, work would not let me off. I just couldn't get out of it. But no, at 20 years, I was like, this is a big milestone, and this is what you've always wanted to do. So found a deal. We went Norwegian Cruise Lines, very veteran friendly, actually.
Oh, great.
Yeah, extremely. Yeah, I got a challenge coin from them, and everything was really cool. Found out our ship captain, he was also a veteran. Then I found out the country he was from, and I'm like, oh, he was on the other side. But let that sink in for a second.
You got this.
Okay.
I have faith.
Yeah. So anyway, no, we had a great time though. We did buy the drink package. So
you have to. Oh, well, I'm sorry. We got.
I'm like, I'm a Marine. I know how much I drink. But I will say this. So we were extremely responsible. Well, I told my wife I was going to be a responsible adult for the first 3 days. All right, 7-day cruise, first 3 days, I will be a responsible adult. I can't vouch for the rest of it. So the first 3 days, I started drinking as soon as I woke up until I went to bed because I wanted to make sure I got my money's worth early on.
What else are you going to do on a cruise?
Right. They had like 3 or 4 stops scheduled. I think I got off the boat once.
No, I would be so scared that they would leave my ass behind. And I'm just sitting there going, hey, don't leave me. No, I would be fucking stuck.
Yeah.
So you've mentioned pool halls quite a bit. Are you good at pool?
I mean, I played with a ball or two.
Mm-hmm. I got that.
Not like that. Not like the Navy. Not like the Navy. No, but no, I enjoy shooting pool. I always have.
You good at it?
Yeah. I mean, I used to be.
We're not filming a tournament here. Like I'm fucking talking about it.
It's like, I mean, look. If you want to put a little money on it, I promise I'll lose. But there's a pool table right there.
There is.
So.
But no.
Yeah. Okay.
I fucking suck. I thought I was good at one point, and then I was like, no, I was just drunk.
Yeah. You have to have the proper amount of aiming fluid. Too little or too much, and you're out of it. That's it.
Yeah. It's that window. Oh, I said that. There's a friend of ours that goes over to the bar. I'm like, is he in his window? We've got a few in versus we've got too many. And he had that nice little window.
I used to shoot on an APA team, American Pool Association, or Pool Player Association. And
well, you have to be somewhat good to get on that.
No, you really don't. No, you don't. So my mom is going to see this, and so I'm not going to say anything about her pool playing. And I'm so glad you made it to the championship in New Jersey.
Hi, Mom.
As a 2, but no, yeah, you really don't have to be good. But they have a whole ranking system, and I mean it makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, they learned early on that if they didn't put me up by like the second, third game, I couldn't shoot because I'm in a bar.
Yeah.
What else am I going to do if I'm not shooting pool?
What is your drink threshold?
All of it.
How many before we're like, oh shit, we've hit that marker?
If we're being completely honest,
Let's
I don't know. I wait for others to tell me.
Do you do like the slur or just?
Huh?
I said earlier, I leaned on one of the other times I've done this podcast. And I had a couple too many, and I'm like, hi. So, do you have like a tell?
My wife says I have a tell. Mm-hmm. Apparently, when I have reached the point of no return and I should stop drinking, is when I walk up and whisper lovingly in her ear about every 2 minutes.
Oh yeah, then you're done.
Baby, I could really use a blowjob.
That is just all love.
So that's when I have watched her go, yep, nope, you're done, and just take the drink and walk away. And you're like, oh shit, okay, all right, fine.
Oh, sorry. I'll be back in a minute.
Huh?
Is that your go-to, Beam and Coke?
It wasn't. It was not for a long time. When I started working at the docks, mm-hmm. I used to work at the port and load military ships. The guys I worked with were big bourbon drinkers. So I kind of switched. But for the longest time, no, I did not drink anything brown. No brown liquor at all. Now, I grew up in Appalachia in the foothills. Mm-hmm. And, I grew up drinking moonshine.
Hell yeah.
Carolina, Tennessee moonshine. We didn't pay the revenuer, as they call it, but I mean allegedly. But
there's nothing there. Don't worry about it.
Yep. Nope. That was just water, pure plain water.
Just water with cinnamon sticks and peaches. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
If it happened to taste like alcohol, God did that.
It is a religious country. It's fine. Don't believe
it. Man, yeah. You talk about the Bible Belt. I grew up in the Bible Belt buckle. I mean. But yeah, no. So we even have blue laws. So like on Saturday night, if my buddy if he had got a case of beer or whatever, when we ran out, well, at midnight on Saturday, you can't buy beer. You couldn't buy beer in South Carolina. We had to drive across state line in North Carolina. And when I say we, I mean I promised somebody that was absolutely, completely, totally sober and of age, for legal purposes. But
yeah, they'll come get you.
But But yeah, no, I drank. Like I said, I drank either moonshine or vodka. Did not like brown liquor at all, and I think part of it was because my drinking buddy at the time. We were also firefighters together, but he got this really nasty Canadian whiskey. I don't even remember the name of it, but it was just absolutely horrible. And
Seagram's, isn't it?
No, it wasn't Seagram's. I don't think I want to say the name of it just in case it's better now.
I love Seagram's. Sponsor us. Just kidding.
But yeah, so I didn't drink brown for a long time, and then like I said, I started working at port, and that's what these guys drank. So I was like, okay, well, whatever. I like alcohol, you know. I don't drink beer, so.
Yeah, my family my father was a beer drinker, so I'm kind of brother was, and.
Well, I started out drinking beer, you know, as a teenager. Allegedly.
Do you remember your first drink?
Yeah, it was a Natty Light. Yeah.
How'd that go down?
About as well as you'd expect.
I think mine was a Coors Light, so I'm not that fucking far off.
Yeah.
Oh, I love the good drinking stories, especially in like high school, and they're like, we grew up in an age where our parents didn't know where we were, and there were a couple times I was with friends at the YMCA field drinking, but I was at Natalie's house.
I take it back. You actually just reminded me. My first drink was not Natty Light. It was not. I was actually in middle school, and one of my best friends brought in. You remember the little apple juice cups? It looked like the fruit cup with the tinfoil lid. Yeah. So it was an apple juice cup. It was not apple juice.
Oh shit. In middle school. Oh fuck.
It was Goldschlager.
Oh, that's even worse. Oh my god, that's even worse.
So technically, that was my first drink. I don't think I touched anything again for a long time.
I don't blame you. I think one of the worst shots I ever had was a flaming Zambuca, and it didn't. I didn't know to get the flame out quick enough, and I'm like,
I don't like licorice, and that
I
black
can't stand it either. I was of age, not really, and no.
The first time I had that, I was actually I was a supervisor with a really good company, and we were doing a business meeting in this really fancy French restaurant in Savannah. My boss orders the Zambucas for everybody.
Oh, God.
Oh.
He hate you?
No, we were actually both veterans, and we were really good friends, and he was great. He was probably one of the best bosses I've ever had in my life. But he ordered that. We're trying to be classy. Because neither one of us, we both grew up poor, okay?
With the buca?
He still is a wonderful man. He grew up, black gentleman grew up in the hood. Like I said, poor boy grew up in foster care and out in the country. But we got along great. He was an Army vet, I was a Marine vet, whatever. We pick on each other. Great guy. He orders these Zambuca shots. I'm trusting him 1,000%. And then I took the shot. And
you're like, why did I have trust in you?
And right? Didn't I just tell you that veterans will be the first ones to screw over other veterans? He did it. He got me.
We had probably the worst shot.
The S-card goes
R.I.P. Sparrow. But we will go to different bars and go, okay, bartender's choice. And we got the bartender at Sparrow was like, okay. And gives us, it was a Fernet. And I was like, I have never had it, and why not? And I took it. It's ground up potpourri mixed with Jaeger, is all I can describe it as. And I can still taste it to this day. And it's fucking horrifying, and I've never done bartender's choice ever again.
Wow.
I learned my lesson on that one. But I think it's like a lot of people love that, but I'm not me, no fucking way.
No.
And it had that, like I said, Jaeger mixed with your grandmother's bathroom potpourri.
I'm gonna tell you, so there was a time where like vodka and Red Bull, that was my drink, like especially in between deployments.
It gives you wings.
Vodka and Red Bull. After having been overseas and drinking as much Red Bull as we did, drinking as much Rippets as we did, I cannot smell an energy drink now without getting sick. Somebody got me. I have not had an energy drink at all in at least 15 years.
So we're not gonna do a Jaeger bomb.
Hell no.
Oh, okay.
But the other night I'm hanging out with some of my bike friends, and Guy got shots for everybody. I didn't ask what it is. He didn't tell. I took it and I went, what was that? I said, was there Red Bull in that? And he goes, yeah, it was. I forget what the shot was, but I go, yeah, please don't ever
do that.
Don't do that to me again. like seriously. And I've got, my wife says I got an iron stomach. Like I'll eat MREs for fun, but we on this comedy tour, I'm telling you, I put MREs in the car to take with me just in case I can't afford supper. Okay, I'm not going to cost my family anything, you know. But yeah, I'm like, I went home and threw. I don't puke, but I puked off of that. I was queasy for like 3 days. I'm like, I think it's the taurine or
yeah. Well, I kind of think when we're in our 20s, it's don't smell it, just shoot it. It was okay, but going into 30s and 40s, you're like, no, we need to discuss. Thank you for the shot, but can we discuss what is going on here? Because it's either going to turn me into an asshole or I'm going to throw up all over your shoes.
Well, the turning into an asshole is going to happen at some point, regardless. It doesn't matter.
It does happen.
There's levels. There's levels to the drunkenness, but
it is. It's the window.
It's happy, horny, hangry. Fuck you.
I usually get the hangry part. Do you love my food? All right, so I'm going to ask you a few questions real quick.
Nope.
Oh, yeah, it's going to happen.
I'm sorry, officer.
Giddy
You
up.
cannot ask me any questions without my lawyer present.
Giddy up. They're going to be fun. All right, so do a little, it's not a speed round, but they're a little off the cuff. I made yours a little gentle. Best concert you ever attended?
I never went to a concert until my oldest son was 14 years old, and I took him to see Five Finger Death Punch here in Charleston, South Carolina.
Oh, I remember they came here.
I got it through Vet Tix, which is normally the nosebleed section. I don't know how it happened or what happened, but we got upgraded to the floor.
Nice.
And we're right in the pit, right up front. My son was able to he called a pick from one of the guitarists. He was right up front. We crowd surfed him for about a second. He had a blast, which means I had a blast, and I liked those guys and the songs they were doing, and it was absolutely amazing. It was the best concert I've ever been to.
Is there a musician that you would have loved to have seen though?
I really would have loved to have seen AC/DC live.
Oh God.
Yeah. A lot of the bands and a lot of the groups I like are obviously a little older, but yeah, AC/DC is one. I would go see them today.
I love good classic rock. I mean, that's
when
where
ZZ Top came to South Carolina. I took my youngest son and we went and saw ZZ Top and Leonard Skinner. They were performing with them, and I'm like, like, son, this is Southern heritage right here. This is the good part of Southern heritage. Like, you need to. And he got into it, and which is weird, but he's more into anime and Japanese stuff. But I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. But
they all are.
Oh yeah, I know.
It's that generation.
Hey, first time they told me about Anna Mae, I was like, who is she? That sounds familiar, because it sounds like a Southern name. Anna Mae.
Anna Mae.
Yeah. I mean, all Southern women all proper Southern women have two first names.
Cassandra Lee.
See? What'd I tell you?
There you go. I went to a Kiss and Aerosmith concert with my brother. And I was probably 23 years old. Didn't really drink much. And it was in Charlotte. Yep. And they sold the beers about yay high, and I drank 4, and I'm about the size of a paperweight.
Yeah.
And I got so drunk. Kiss was great, but I don't fucking remember Aerosmith. That's the whole reason I went. And I ended up, he's carrying me out, and I wanted to play football with the hippies in the damn parking lot. I'm like, let's go play. He's like, nope, we're going home. Nope, we're going. But no, I'm happy. Dude.
The very first CD I ever bought myself was Kiss Carnival of Souls.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, great album. Absolutely wonderful. I had to buy it at the pawn shop behind my grandfather's back.
Oh, yeah, because you had that explicit lyric thing right there. My mother saw the Nirvana Nevermind album. Oh, it was a tape.
He found out about it. He found out about it and accused me of being a Satanist, and there was a whole thing there. It was, but that's where I fell in love with metal. I fell in love with rock and roll. Prior to that, all I was allowed to listen to was country or classical. Like country, Christian bluegrass gospel, or like classical, like Tchaikovsky, Beethoven, which, yeah. But I think that also led to me having a very diverse interest in music. So I like all genres and all different musics, and I listen to all of it depending on what mood I'm in. Yeah.
No, I get that. Are you listening to anything current?
Huh?
Do you listen to anybody that's current? Like, I honestly, I couldn't tell you a Taylor Swift song to save my life, but...
Well, I mean, I got nothing against Taylor Swift, and I think she's, probably got some good songs.
I think she's fairly talented. It's not mine.
Yeah, it's not really my genre. There's, there's obviously some genres I lean to a little more, and some a little less, but I think every genre has something for somebody.
Yeah.
If you give it a chance, really out rap, hip hop, R&B, metal, rock, techno, the club techno stuff. Yeah. I've listened to that.
The rave sticks.
Yeah, the rave. Yeah, especially if you're on a long road trip, you put some of that on.
It gets you going.
Just roll. Yeah.
What was your favorite era of music?
Probably 70s to early 2000s.
Boy, with the rock.
Yeah.
I didn't see you as a disco man, so.
Believe it or not, the Bee Gees are fucking badass.
Listen, I like the Bee Gees. You know what? All right, let's do this one. What is the worst job you have ever had?
You're gonna have to give me some clarification. What categories of worst job are we talking about? Just overall, or are we talking
overall,
about the job
like
you had to
career wise, or you got paid money to do this job, like you got to take out trash for the restaurant kind of thing? That's all you did. Or one that just sucked your soul out. You're like, oh, fuck, why am I here?
Oh, I don't know if I can specifically reference that job because I may or may not be doing it. But any job that puts you in a windowless government building will suck your soul.
Oh, I can see that as being depressing as well.
Yes.
I see that with the factories, and God bless the people that work there, but I'm like, I gotta have some light.
Even the jobs I've had in windowless, soulless government buildings, I have not had. I don't think I've had any bad jobs. I have had some difficult people to work with. I have had some difficult interactions with professional terms, internal and external customers. But I haven't had any bad jobs. Like I said, I've been a firefighter, worked at the port, I've worked in corporate environments, I've done comedy, I've done acting, I've done my own kind of stuff. I think any job that feeds my kids, any job that pays my mortgage, any job that makes sure that we live the life that we want to live and we're not morally compromised,
right,
is a good job.
Pays the bills.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have any regrettable tattoos? We have to edit.
Nope. Not regrettable, but I will say, if you look at this one, so this is actually a cover-up.
Right.
So, a Marine friend of mine who was trying to be a tattoo artist did the first version of this, which is why the letters still look kind of wonky. They're not quite straight and centered. I don't know if he had too much or not enough of whatever it is he was having, but it was jacked up. And there are pictures on my Facebook and Instagram and whatnot that will show the cartoonish and very crooked first tattoo. The guy got to do this, a very good friend of mine, one of the poker players I was telling you about, her son got into tattooing. I think he did an absolutely amazing cover-up of what he had to work with, and I'm really happy with that. It looked good. And it says OFP, which stands for On Fucking Program. And that's what I call my comedy brand, OFP Comedy. And that's a Marine thing, comes straight out of the Marine Corps. A lot of times in the Marine Corps, they'll look at you and go, oh, boy, what are you doing? You're just over here, you're OFP, you're on your own fucking program, you're just doing whatever you want to do. Yes, I am out of the Marine Corps. I'm a grown-ass man with wife and kids and job. Yes, I'm going to do whatever the hell I want to do as long as it doesn't mess with you.
So we're also going to plug OFP because I have seen that as well, so they can book you out of that.
Yes. All of my social media is OFP Comedy, OFP _comedy. So, yep. And you see it, it's got a little blue check.
It's verified.
It's verified.
All right, let's see what I got next. Most awkward moment in high school.
Oh, in high school?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. I don't know. I was an awkward kid to begin with. We had our 20-year reunion a couple years ago, and some jackwagon posted up our senior video, and I saw my little interview on there, and I was like, oh, wow, that was rough. But I don't know. I was awkward all throughout high school. Look, I was 6'4", you know. I started balding at 15. Okay.
Oh shit.
So
I got my first gray hair at 20.
yeah, I mean, I started balding at 15. I had these big old ears, and I had this little stick figure body. I mean, I was weird all the way around. Every moment in high school was an awkward moment. Okay.
That is actually very fucking true.
Yeah.
I'll tell another story later.
No.
No, I had a theater teacher that I did Bye Bye Birdie, and I was the old lady in it, and I think it was somebody's mother. I don't fucking know. And I was very athletic. I was very small, but fucking J-Lo should have been around when I was growing up because I had a bubble butt and she did too, and I kind of had that same body. And the theater teacher, we did dress rehearsal. She came over. She goes, "Oh my God, your outfit looks good." So I had the old lady dress and the old lady hat that we'd made, and my mother and I helped me with it. And she goes, "What'd you pad your butt with?" And I went, "I didn't." She never spoke to me again after that. So, J-Lo, where were you in 1998? Not popular enough.
I will say high school, so my first directing experience was a high school play that we had wrote ourselves, and that was very interesting. Yeah, I directed it, but I also played the Grim Reaper, which it was a little weird. Anyway.
Oh, they are. Our daughter actually did a variation of Romeo and Juliet, and it was they didn't have to audition because it was the class, and I said, "Can you get Mercutio? Because it's kind of a gender neutral role." And she goes, "Yeah." I said, "I just wanted to hear you say a plague on both your houses." And she got it and ended up getting awards. I'm like, that was my heart. I was like, oh, now she doesn't want to do theater, so it's fine.
So what you're saying is you pushed your daughter to do a specific role, and you
she got an award for it too.
And you killed her entire love for theater. Good job. Good job, Mom.
Listen, she's got a medal and a plaque for it, so shit. All right, this is a really good one. Thank you, Scott, for coming up with this one. All right, Harley, Indian, or Victory?
American motorcycles. I like Harley. I like original Indian. I'm not saying I don't like the current Indians, okay, but it's not an Indian, it's a Polaris. I'm sorry, hey, fight me. I don't care. It is what it is. And then Victory. I think Victory had a really, really good line of motorcycles. My old fire chief had an Iron Horse, bad motorcycle. I love that thing. And but yeah, I'm very much a patriot. I very much believe in American made. I would love to see more things made in America, but at the same time, all these companies globally have really great bikes. They all have really great bikes. But if I had to pick one between Harley, Indian, and Victory, I'm probably going to go with Harley. And it simply comes from all Harleys have all these different, they have so much for customization and aftermarket parts and everything else. Because you cannot get a Harley from the dealership that you actually want.
No.
You're buying something. You're buying something that you're about to spend a whole bunch of money to customize to the way you want. So,
would you love to customize your own bike though?
I do. I really do enjoy customizing my own bike. Mm-hmm. I'm looking at possibly doing a bike build maybe next year. Mm-hmm. Just starting from the frame and just figuring it out with some buddies of mine. I got some buddies that are going to help me if I decide to do it. But yeah, I really want a bounce around town bike that I just built, with my friends from the ground up. But that's down the road. But
well, if you have anybody that a younger comic coming up, do you have advice for them as far as that goes?
My best advice to any young comic or anybody wanting to get into comedy or come up in comedy is very, very simple. Forge your own path. Mm-hmm. Do your own thing. I believe that there are certain, I'm not going to say rules, but there are definitely certain standards that transfer between all the entertainment industry, whether it be comedy or music or acting or whatever. There are certain tenets that transpose all of the entertainment sector. But outside of that, you are going to get conflicting advice from club owners. You're going to get conflicting advice from comedians. You're going to get the guy who has never done anything but an open mic and has been doing somebody else's jokes for 3 years telling you how you should do your joke. Listen to him if you want to,
right,
or do your own thing. I believe like I said, comedy is subjective. Everybody has their own sense of humor. What is funny to you as a comedian will be funny to your audience. Some audiences will be bigger. Some audiences won't. What I'm saying is, the way you perceive comedy and what makes you laugh, sometimes that'll make a smaller group of people laugh or a big group of people laugh, and that's kind of up to luck. But don't change who you are to suit what the industry wants or what this person wants or what that person wants. Just be yourself, hang it out there, all right, and have fun.
I love it.
If you're not having fun, stop doing it.
Well, that's the whole point of all of this, isn't it, in life? So, Brandon, man, this is fun. I had a great time with you. Thank you so much.
Great time with you.
Shit.
Oh, you done messed up now. All right, what are we drinking to this time?
To Reggie's this summer. Thank you so much for everything. Thank you for the support for Reggie's.
We really appreciate all the free drinks. Thank you. Yeah, they totally said anybody that comes in can get free drinks. And if they're not free, they'll at least be on the podcast. That's what.
I'm not mortgaging my house for your fucking shit. All right, so real quick, I'm also going to plug.
You can't get a mortgage on an apartment. Not in South Carolina. In New York, yes. In New York, yes.
All right, so I'm going to actually plug the charity that you're working with, and it's Simplify and America's Fund. We're going to have that link on Spotify, YouTube. We're also going to post it on our Facebook page. Brandon, this was fucking blast, man.
Hey, thank you so much.
I really loved it so much. Thank you so much again to Reggie, to Jimmy that owns it, and to Summer that has taken such amazing care of us. I'm going to see you again. I know I will. You were an absolutely amazing guest, and I had a blast. We'll see you guys next time.
Did you tell her it was going to be bigger?
I'm going out of show.
Hey. My man.